Where did you start? What went wrong?
At key moments, we made some bad decisions, so we weren't particularly smart under pressure, and I think the reverse was true of them. They just kept things going nicely, just the right thing in the right time. We were working damn hard to try and put some positive attack outcomes, but we were just sometimes, like I said, just at key moments. The 13-9, the tap penalty is unforgivable. We go 16-9, we're back under the pump, and there's a few little opportunities there for us, perhaps where we could have turned the screw, and we lack a bit of patience at times. But also, notwithstanding the fact we didn't look after the ball well enough in general, we're too shallow, we're too lateral, and they're winning the race to the contact area, and they killed us around that contact area.
I guess you've got to win every game really to stand a chance of qualifying.
We've got to pick up next week. There's no doubt about it. We want a structured training week that gets the right level of rugby detail, but also that gets a bit of urgency in our game for next week, but also smartness at the right time. And at key times we have no emotional control, and that's disappointing. And we've got to get the balance right in training to go to Franklin Gardens and get a result.
Do you think you can go there and get a result?
Yeah, probably. If we play like that, probably not. You look at the first 3 games of the season we had, pretty decent start. We just, like I spoke to you when I spoke to a few guys at the ELC launch, said the form we have in the Rugby we never translated to the Heineken, and we haven't. So we've got to look at ourselves and try and do that next week, obviously.
I can't fault the effort that was out there, but you were a bit one-dimensional. How much more do you feel you've got to add variety next week?
I think you're wrong. I think we question the effort at times. I think we've got to be that brazen with ourselves. We're getting turned over at wide rucks. Why are we late there? Is it technique, or is it just getting to the ruck and hitting something in blue? I don't know. We'll have to have a look. I'm probably a bit emotional, a bit reactive at the minute, but we'll have a look and assess. That's the thing. We're just fortunate we got one next week. Pardon the cliche, but we're lucky.
Gruff, how good all the Leinster
I thought they were good, and in terms of what they had to do to get a result here, and that doesn't reflect well on us perhaps, but they're the champion side. They've only lost to one team in Europe over 3 years, and that's a great record, and they do it on the back of those performances, that they do the right thing at the right time. There's a break in midfield where it could have gone the other way, but he slipped as a moment, then we miss a tackle, and there's a big 7-point swing there. So they get those moments, but also because, like I said, they understand how to win big rugby games, and they've kept control of what they've done. But also, I think at certain points they have had more urgency. They've got top level players, but Al's right, and there are this footage to show they're winning the race on a few things, and that's what disappoints us.
About 3 minutes before that easy moment, there was also a scrum in the corner when you got to the penalty. That felt like a big moment in time as well.
Yeah, it was my call. There were probably a few boys that didn't want to do that, but I thought with the ascendancy in the scrum, we had the 2 previous penalties, which you don't often get in the game, the way the scrum laws are going at the minute. So I thought, well, if we're getting a bit of favourable time at the scrum, let's go for that one. But obviously it shifted, and next thing we know, we're 7 points adrift. So, I wouldn't want to say the scrum is becoming a lottery, but it does feel it's going back to where it was. But that's my personal opinion. No, I think it was the loose head. Yeah, he was on the wrong word with me as well.
But I've looked at 17 scrums just the ball coming out of the 3, as you say, it seems just like that.
Yeah, I got to be careful what I say, because some people are untouchable, but I think we've got to, we're still probably adjusting, even though it's 5 games in. Everybody's probably using the laws to their own interpretation. Some people doing better than others. It's just a thing we've got to keep working on.
Gruff, how do you effect the turnaround in 7 days?
We're going to have to be smart in how we review the game. I think we've got to be brutally honest with individuals, that I think there was things they've got to be held accountable for. As we have as coaches' mind, I think we've got to structure the working week that gives us the right level of intensity, but also create some pressure points where we can perhaps try and generate some smartness in what we do, but also, coach areas of our attack where, as I said, we're lateral and, we did want to shift the ball against Leinster, but perhaps on our terms in the way we've done before. Certainly over in the RDS, there's great examples, but we're a bit too loose with it tonight without looking after the ball, and that just doesn't create any momentum. So, that's a physical part of the game that we've got to have a mindset around going away from home up to Franklin's Gardens.
Did that come out, Gruff, from pressure?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, like I said, you get those moments where we spoke about being desperate, and I think you've got to play on the edge of desperation, but have a coolness about you to make the right decisions in the middle. And in the last quarter against Ulster, and for a lot of tonight, we've just gone individual on a couple of things. We've gone not so much out of structure, but we're into a flow of a game which doesn't fit from 1 to 15. And so perhaps a couple of people on the page, but it doesn't necessarily flow as a team. So then the boys haven't got any reference points in terms of where to hit rucks, where to run, and we suddenly look out of shape. And as Leinster just seized on those sort of mismanagement of the game to win 7-8 turnovers on the floor.
Yeah, just before that scrum, I think actually the scrum was a result of it when you had down, because you actually had an overlap as well, which was spurred really.
Yeah, it was. There was some nice movement off 9. We knew where and how we wanted to attack, and it'd have been a 1v1 perhaps with Becky there. But as I said, those sort of decisions don't worry me as much as some of the structural ones. Those snap 2v1s, they're by the by. You create them with good structures, and we just didn't do enough of that tonight.
Alun, when Gruff says that you had no emotional control, how do you account for that? We've got such an experienced group of players.
I think he's right. I think he's set on the tin. There's critical moments there. I think a few hours we have possession, around about 5 minutes in the first half, 20 minutes from the end. We take a quick tap, could have got us back in the game. We take the points. These areas we've got to realise it's a case of putting our foot in the ball, if you like, and taking, whether it's territory, field position, like I say, or the 3 points, and realise that we can claw our way back into it. I think we were comfortable to be within 7. The way we played in the first half, I think we obviously, like has been said, it was one error that led to the try, but other than that, it was probably decent. Unfortunately, like I say, early on in the second, 20 minutes from the end, there was probably a couple of critical moments with the quick tap that probably compounded the other errors in the game.
How did you feel, Gruff, when you saw that quick tap?
Straight away it's something individual that doesn't fit us, and I love the player in question, to bits. One of the reasons why he came here, and for the most part, he's showing his ability for how we want the 9 to play. But that individual, it doesn't fit us, and he'll know it's a key moment. This could not cost us the game. I would never say that in any way, shape, or form. But it compounds the pressure you put yourself under, and then we get the areas where you suddenly try and be individualistic and go out of what we're trying to do.